welcome to Mrs. G's Sewing Space. Today we are going to learn how to make triangle bags. So these little bags, I have it, actually, see it? I have it folded up for storage, but you pop it open, whoop, there you go, check that out. It's a cute little triangle bag. It's a different take on the zippered bag. You have a zipper still. It has a lot of room on the inside. Stuff your whole family in there. So this is a really cute little bag. It has tabs on the end, and in this particular video I show you three different ways. Well, three ways that I installed the zipper. The making of the bag is the same. So we have this one, and then we have this one, which is a little longer, and a little, it's not, I don't think it's wider, it's just a little bit longer. And then we have this one, folded up, here we go. But this one has a handle to it. I wanted to try it out to see how I felt about having a handle on it. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Even though I made it, I don't know. I'm just not sure how I feel about this handle. I'm like, I mean, the idea is interesting. I don't know. What do you guys think? Tell me in the comments below, what do you guys think? Should we have a handle or no handle? Let me show you. Handle. No handle. With just a tab at the top here. I'm kind of thinking the tab, but a handle's convenient. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. So let's get to the video. For this project you need a zipper and you need your fabric. For this particular project I am using a quilted fabric, meaning that I purchased this off the bolt. It has one side. On the inside it has quilt batting, and then it has a different fabric on the outside. And I really like this pre-quilted stuff. It's really nice. It means I don't have to make a lining. The only thing I am going to do to cover up my edges is I'm going to zigzag, or I'm going to serge the edges to keep it clean on the inside. So to make this triangle bag, I have a zipper here. It's 8 inches long, and I decided that I was going to have my 8-inch long zipper, but I was also going to have the bottom and the top, when it's folded up, is going to be 8 inches across on top and bottom as well. So meaning that because I have 8 inches going across the top and the bottom in my finished project, my fabric would need to be cut 8 inches plus an inch, and then 16 inches plus an inch for seam allowance. So that would be 9 inches by 17 inches. That's my piece of fabric right here. So what I'm going to do is, this is going to be the inside and this is going to be the outside of my bag. So I want to attach my zipper. If anybody's ever seen my zipper bag videos, I'll put an iCard up at the top corner so that you guys can get links to it if you haven't. But the right side of the zipper is going to go to the right side of the fabric, and we are going to sew it on. And you see how I have an extra 1/2 inch here? I'm going to have an extra 1/2 inch there. That's the seam allowance for the sewing on the bottom. I'm going to pin this in place. And I'm also going to pin the other side. So the right side of my zipper goes to the right side of my fabric. And I'm just going to pull it over like this, match up my side seams, and I'm also going to pin, so that it looks just like this. I'm going to pin it all up. Put a pin right there. Okay, so this is what it looks like. I have my zipper pinned in place, right sides together, edges matching, and so now I'm going to go sew a stitch straight across to secure my zipper, and I'll be back after I get that done. Okay, now that we have it sewn together and I have my edges zigzagged, I think I might go back and serge them. Or the next one I make, I'll serge them, but these are going to be zigzagged. I trimmed what I missed here on the edges. I might go back and trim those again. So now I'm going to flatten this out. I'm going to place my zipper in the middle. So my bag is supposed to be 8 inches long, and it's 9 inches right now for seam allowance. Oh wait, it's still, there you go. Alright, so a 1/2 inch for seam allowance on the zipper is too much, but that's okay. We'll just put it in half, so we'll say it's about 9 inches. That would be 4.5, so my zipper would need to go in the 4.5 spot. So in the middle right there. And I am going to pin my edges down like this. just so that it goes through. I'm going to iron, and then I'm going to sew and then zigzag those edges. Okay, and I'll come back when we're all done. Well, as you can see, I have more going on here than I originally started with. As I was over there ironing, I was thinking about other ways and other zippers and other ways we could do things. So what I did for this one, this is the original one I was working on with my 8-inch zipper. As I was over there ironing it and getting it ready to sew the side seams, I realized I have a tendency to overestimate. So when I told you the original amounts for my fabric, I made it bigger than what I really needed it to be, which is why you get these gaps, like an inch gap right here and about an inch gap over here too. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sew an inch instead of a 1/2 inch, and my bag will be a little bit smaller. But I'm also going to add a handle to it. I had this leftover scrap from a dress that I made my daughter, so I went ahead and turned it into a handle, and I'm going to attach that to this one right here. For this one, I'm going to show you guys how to do this with a super long zipper. It's just like my other zipper bags where I use my longer zippers and I just trim the ends. So I'm going to do that one with this one. And for this one, this zipper is the exact length of my fabric. For this particular zipper, I'm going to make it shorter. So I'm going to use these tabs right here because it has some yellow in it. I thought it would be a nice little match there. Anyways, I'm going to use these, and I'm going to show you how to add tabs to your zipper to show you what happens if you have an extra small zipper or a zipper that's not quite the length of what you want and you need to add some length to the zipper. I'm going to show you how to do this. So I'm going to get all these bags put together. I'm going to show you how to do the zipper here, and then we'll continue on from that point. Okay, so I'm going to show you what to do to lengthen a zipper in case you have a short zipper. So you need 2 square scraps of fabric, and what you're going to do, you're going to sew over the ends to make your zipper a little bit longer. So what you're going to do is figure out where you want to do it. So this zipper has a metal part right here that will break your needle if you sew over it. So I'm going to sew right in front of it, so it's going to cover up that part right there. So I'm going to take my scrap and I'm going to lay it on top like this. And it seems kind of backwards. It definitely seems backwards, but you're going to then end up folding it over to not only cover that, but to make the extension right there. So right here where my thumb is, this little fold right here, that's where your seam is going to be. So I'm going to fold it over like this, and I'm just going to go ahead and stitch right across here, avoiding the metal clips right there. I'm going to do the same thing on this edge as well. Okay, so see, now that we have this here like this, we fold it over like that, and when we get ready to sew, we'll trim that down, and now you have an extension to your zipper. Your zipper opening is going to be short, but you can now fit the zipper onto your fabric. So I'm going to go ahead and do this side, and we'll start getting the bags put together. But for this one, I'm going to pull my zipper down and do the exact same thing. So now we have the same thing for that one, right, that side right there. So I'm going to iron this flat, and I'm going to trim these edges so that they match the length and width of the zipper. And there we go. I'm going to go attach this to the rest of our bags. Okay, so here we go. We got all caught up. We have 3 different bags, 3 different sizes, and 3 different zipper applications. So this was my extra long zipper, so I don't have to worry about anything adding tabs or being too short, and I can sew my normal seam allowance and be good. I have my super short zipper, which I overcalculated regarding my pattern. And I'm going to add a handle to that one. I haven't decided how I'm going to do it just yet. And then I have the zipper that was too short for certain. This is what I should have done for this one. And I added tabs to it, so it lengthened my zipper, so now I can go back and do my seams without any problems. So this is just regular pink grosgrain ribbon. It's an inch wide. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just do tabs on the ends of the zippers on this one. And I'll show you how I do it. And then I'll figure out if I want to do the other ones. So we're playing as we go along. This is usually how I work. I tried to iron it, but because this is a lining quilted fabric, it doesn't iron as well as I would like for it to. So I am going to, so instead of ironing it, I stitched it. I stitched the seams down so that when you open it, it won't be all funky. So I took my ribbon, and I don't want an incredibly long tab. I personally want a short tab. So it's about 2 inches long, and I'm gonna fold it in half. So that's 1 inch, and then when you have your seam allowance, it's gonna be shorter than that, so it'll be a short little tab. I'm gonna line it up with the edges of the fabric here directly over the zipper, because that's where you would need it to be anyways. So this is gonna be the bottom, and I'm gonna sew straight across. I'll line up my edges. Ouch. I'm going to pin it in place. Pin there and a pin over here. And I'm going to sew a 1/2 inch all the way across here. I'm going to trim the zipper, and I'm going to go back and I'm going to serge the edge. And then I'm going to do the same thing here, except in the opposite way. So that's how we get our triangle. So for right now, because I'm going to pin over here first. And now, oh, all those little strings get in the way, drive me crazy. Let's clean them up, get them out. So maybe we'll do it here on the side, like this. Okay, so here you go. There's my tab here on the inside, so it's a little longer. Okay, so I'm going to sew 1/2 inch here, and then I'm going to serge the edges. 1/2 inch here, serge the edges, and I'm going to trim the zipper. And I have my zipper opened so I can flip everything out. I'm going to open that a little more. Alright, so I'm going to go do that, and then I'll come back and we'll see how it looks, and then figure out what we want to do with the other two. Okay, so I sewed it and I serged it, and I'm going to show you what I do with my tails. Okay, I found my needle. As I drop it. Great. Okay, it's a tapestry needle, so it has a blunt end. Can you see that? It has a blunt end, but it has a large hole, so I can put all my threads through it. So I take it and I thread it in part way through the serged edge here. I'm going to trim my threads to a good length. Thread it through the hole, and I try to get at least 3 threads in. Once I have it threaded in, I just pop it out, and there we go. My other needle, it was too small. I think the eye was too small, and now I'm going to trim up any other threads that might be loosey-goosey. And because this is quilted, some of the quilting's coming undone because we've cut it, but because I have a seam stitched right here, those won't go any further, so I'm just going to go ahead and just trim all that up. Okay, so there we go. My edges are all clean on the inside, and so let's flip it inside out and see how it looks. Poke those edges out. Corners, not the edges, the corners. Poke the corners out. Poke that out. And there you go. I see what I did there. See, normally on a zippy bag that's tended like that. Alright, well that's not too bad. Just make sure that stays in. Oop, sorry guys. Alright, so there you go. So that's a pretty big bag right there. I didn't make any small ones today, did I? Well, that's kind of cute. I kind of like that. I don't know what you guys think. Do you like that? I don't know. I haven't decided. What would you tote it around here? Oh, besides junk. Or more junk. Or Legos. Or baby doll clothes. Or who knows what else. Alright, so now I've got that one out of the way. And I see the tabs. And see, the tabs are good because you need something to hold on to open it. And to close it. So, yeah, okay. Yeah, tabs. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to put tabs on this one. I'm going to attach the handle to this one, and I'll come back when we're all done. Well, here we are. They're all done. So we added our zipper. We top stitched to keep the seam allowance to lying flat because it wasn't going to iron down. We added tabs to this particular one. It shows up better here. So we added tabs to lengthen our zipper. And it doesn't show up so well here. But then I added a tab here too, and look what happened. So that was unexpected, but it's not too bad. I mean, it still does what it's supposed to do. It's still supposed to be a tab. So now I know I need to stick it on sideways, like I did this one here. And it's a cute little bag. And there you go. It has a lot of room on the inside. It's kind of funny how you think about that. Then we have this one. So this one, let me go through my mistakes with you on this one. So this is the one that I didn't have the zipper long enough. I should have had tabs on it like I did for this one. But I didn't. And because of that, when I sewed on the seam allowance that I had planned, my zipper tape popped out. So I got a little hole right here. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to hand stitch that together and do some like a little stitch here and a little stitch here so that it stays closed. And that won't take very long. And then I added a handle to it. So that's kind of weird and funky and kind of unusual, I guess. And I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that. I'm still kind of, We'll see how what my daughters say and see if they like it or not. So there's this one. Once again, a lot of room in there. Disappear into there. Put lots of stuff in there. And this one doesn't have any tabs. But then you just like pinch the bottom. And you should be okay. And then here's the first one. So this one's not as square. This one's a little longer and longer. So there's the inside of that one. Now on all three of these, we either zigzag the edges or we serge. I mostly serge the edges. The only thing I found that I didn't like is, see how this pops out right here? Right there at the top. That's where the zipper would meet at. Here at the bottom, it's hidden, so it doesn't matter. But when you do it here at the top, and all of a sudden, bam, it's popping out. You gotta tuck it in order to zip it up so you don't see anything like that. And so I think the best way to take care of that is not to use an extra long zipper because of that, but to use a zipper that you need a tab on. So even if you added a tab to the top and then sewed it so that you would have a piece of fabric showing right there, that would look way better. And so there you go. So there you go. There's all three of your little triangle bags. If you guys need anything, let me know.